join the Libyan people in demanding that Colonel Gaddafi must go now without further violence and bloodshed. And we are taking no option off the table so long as the Libyan government continues to turn its guns on its own people. For months, the world has borne witness to the Assad regime's contempt for its own people, slaughtering thousands of unarmed civilians, including children.
There's a man with God on there. There are death squads. There are terrorist commandos that have been brought in by the world specialists in death squads and terrorist commandos. That is the CIA and NATO intelligence. This is what's actually happening. And when you get these accounts, right, from Al Jazeera or any number of other authorities about children being killed or how many people got killed, ask yourself who's doing the killing.
Human rights activists say security forces killed more than 60 protesters in one day alone, mostly in Hama. Now, video has emerged of what could be the assassin's hand. A man opens fire.
So this, of course, is all intended to do a couple of things, but this is all about stopping and blocking Russia from using Syria as an extension of their Blue Stream pipeline, the Blue Stream 2.
Well, the question is who is blowing up the Homs pipeline? Is it Assad's people or is it other people?
No, it's CIA operatives, which is we'd call them Al-Qaeda.
Do you want me to take it down first?
If he doesn't mind.
But that doesn't mean that it's any less terrifying. And then, of course, you always have the constant threat of these government sniper positions on their coast.
We had been in there for almost 3 days at this point, and there was credible information that something was going to happen that would be very detrimental to our being there. So, we all sat down. Everyone was part of the discussion about, talking through all the options that, could, would, may not happen.
One of the biggest accomplishments for the media team here was getting up a live stream so that they could show the world exactly what was happening in real time. And they believed that this really aggravated the Syrian government.
The basic situation is that there's a hysterical, demagogic public relations campaign by NATO intelligence, the CIA, Mossad, MI6, DGSE, and other NATO forces against Syria. And this is a destabilization. The goal is to overthrow the government and to smash the existing political arrangements, to smash the state.
It is up to the Syrian people to choose their own leaders in a democratic system based on the rule of law and dedicated to protecting the rights of all citizens, regardless of ethnicity, religion, sect, or gender.
Syria's Christian minority, which was relatively secure under the reign of the Assad dynasty, is increasingly coming under attack from rebel forces backed by Washington. Christian residents of cities such as Homs often fall prey to street militias and extortion gangs. Ironically, Syria offered refuge to Iraqi Christians who fled that country after a hardline Islamist government was installed with the help of U.S. occupation authorities.
وأدنى بهم لن ننخدع بحمايتهم لن نستبدل عقيدتنا بديمقراطيتهم ولن نستبدل حكم الإسلام بمدنيتهم.
The Assad government has now been condemned by countries in all parts of the world and can look only to Iran for support.
The US and its allies have failed to push an anti-Assad resolution through the UN Security Council for the third time. Russia and China have once again vetoed the motion.
We understand the strong desire of the Syrian people that no foreign country should intervene in their struggle, and we respect their wishes. In just the past 2 weeks, many of Syria's own neighbors and partners in the region have joined the chorus of condemnation. The UN Security Council will meet again to discuss this ongoing threat to international peace and stability. We are also working to schedule a special session of the United Nations Human Rights Council that will examine the regime's widespread abuses. We're building a relationship that just did not exist. I said in our last trip when you were with me that we had a huge trust deficit, in part because the United States had, to be fair, we had helped to create the problem we're now fighting. How? Because when the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan, we had this brilliant idea that we were going to come to Pakistan and create a force of Mujahadeen, equip them with Stinger missiles and everything else to go after the Soviets inside Afghanistan. And we were successful. The Soviets left Afghanistan, and then we said, great, goodbye, leaving these trained people who were fanatical in Afghanistan and Pakistan, leaving them well armed, creating a mess, frankly, that at the time we didn't really recognize. We were just so happy to see the Soviet Union fall, and we thought, okay, fine, we're okay now. Everything's going to be so much better. Now you look back, the people we're fighting today, we were supporting in the fight against the Soviets. We also have a history of kind of moving in and out of Pakistan. I mean, let's remember here, the people we are fighting today, we funded 20 years ago. And we did it because we were locked in this struggle with the Soviet Union. They invaded Afghanistan, and we did not want to see them control Central Asia. And we went to work. And it was President Reagan, in partnership with the Congress, led by Democrats, who said, you know what, sounds like a pretty good idea. Let's deal with the ISI and the Pakistani military, and let's go recruit these Mujahadeen. And let's get some to come from Saudi Arabia and other places, importing their Wahhabi brand of Islam so that we can go beat the Soviet Union. And guess what? They retreated. They lost billions of dollars, and it led to the collapse of the Soviet Union. So there's a very strong argument, which wasn't a bad investment to end the Soviet Union.
The self-proclaimed revolutionaries are real bandits. They can shoot in the back. They kill people, rob houses. One can be shot dead for no reason. We're afraid to go to the country, as our car can be stopped and we can be shot. They kill both young and old. They take people from their homes and chop them into pieces, put them in plastic bags, and then throw them out.
And they've killed many, many people there, especially Christians, especially Christians, especially Christians.
هذا مصير كل خاين بيتعامل مع الأمن والشبيحة في مدينة النبك. تاريخ 15/6/2012. هذا مصير كل خاين. على السريع شباب بسرعة. هذا مصير كل خاين بيتعامل مع الأمن.
President Obama called on Assad to step aside. The transition to democracy in Syria has begun, and it's time for Assad to get out of the way. The people of Syria deserve a government that respects their dignity, protects their rights, and lives up to their aspirations.
Everybody in the population in Syria loves our president, and we support the president. But you are talking very lie about Syria.
I didn't lie. It's my first day here.
No, you are lying, because everybody here, population, 23 million persons from Syria love Bashar al-Assad and support Bashar al-Assad.
But I'm not making it up. There are pictures of
No, you are
but there are pictures.
your advertisement like that.
But if we see, yes,
No, I'm liking, you are lying like that. Everybody when BBC Arabic, we can hear the lie about Syria. Al Jazeera and the Arabia.
But what is it? But maybe Syria is like any country. Some people support and some people don't
everybody
support.
is support.
So Syria is different.
There is very little people, maybe 10,000 like that. But the most of people, 22 million, 23 million persons support Bashar al-Assad.
طير الحرية الطاير من فوق الشام نازل عابر ديلاقي رب الحمام عجناح لسوريا حامل سلام ضوي يا شمس بلادي فوق الأيام طير الحرية الطاير من فوق الشام نازل عابر ديلاقي رب الحمام عجناح لسوريا حامل سلام ضوي يا شمس بلادي فوق الأيام علوها علو الراية سوريا صارت آية علوها علو الراية سوريا صارت جبال العز مضواي طول الأيام